At 72, Pierce Brosnan has finally opened up about the truth he carried for decades about his friendship with Robin Williams, a truth shaped by admiration, heartbreak, and unforgettable memories. Born Pierce Brendan Brosnan on May 16, 1953, in the small Irish town of Navan, County Meath, Brosnan grew up in a life marked by constant uncertainty. His father disappeared while he was still a baby, and his mother left for London to study nursing, hoping the sacrifice would eventually give her son a better future. Young Pierce lived with relatives and later in a boarding house, learning self-reliance far earlier than most children. That lonely beginning developed a quiet determination that would one day propel him across the world. When he finally rejoined his mother in London at age 11, his world shifted dramatically. He discovered art, movies, and eventually acting after being mesmerized by a fire eater at a circus, an image that sparked something profound inside him. He trained at Drama Centre London, where teachers quickly noticed his mix of presence, emotion, and discipline. His breakout came in the early 1980s with Remington Steele, a role that made him an international star long before he ever became James Bond. In 1995, Brosnan stepped into the role that changed everything. Agent 007, debuting in GoldenEye and later starring in Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and Die Another Day. His Bond was polished yet human, smooth yet emotionally layered, earning him a permanent place in the franchise's legacy. Away from Bond, he explored every genre imaginable: drama in The Matador and The Ghostwriter, romance in The Thomas Crown Affair, and even musical comedy in Mamma Mia. In recent years, films like The Misfits, False Positive, Black Adam, The Outlaws, The King's Daughter, Fast Charlie, and The Thursday Murder Club proved he still had range, relevance, and star power. In his personal life, Brosnan's deepest joys and wounds came from his marriages. His first wife, the luminous Cassandra Harris, was the love who steadied him, inspired him, and introduced him to the world of James Bond long before he ever auditioned. He adopted her children, Charlotte and Christopher, and built a life filled with hope until her battle with ovarian cancer ended in 1991. Her death shattered him, shaping his compassion and emotional maturity forever. Years later, he found healing with journalist Keely Shea Smith, whom he married in 2001. Together, they raised two sons, Dylan and Paris, and built a marriage rooted in warmth, activism, and loyalty, qualities Brosnan still praises openly. But when Brosnan speaks about Robin Williams, the emotion in his voice changes. Working together on Mrs. Doubtfire in 1993 left a permanent imprint on him. "Robin was like lightning," Brosnan said. "You didn't just watch him, you felt him." He remembered how Robin could shift from wild, brilliant improvisation to gentle sincerity in a heartbeat. What struck Brosnan most was Robin's kindness. He treated crew members, children, and strangers with the same tenderness he showed fellow actors. Beneath the humor, Brosnan sensed a deep, quiet ache in Robin, a sadness that appeared in the brief stillness after the laughter. When Robin died in 2014, Brosnan said he felt the world go dim. Now, in his 70s, he wants people to remember the man behind the comedy. "Robin Williams was one of the finest men I ever knew," he said, "and the world was better, so much better, because he lived."